Let's draft, ladies and gentlemen. Let's draft. Let's see where we're drafting Achane today, or where the consensus is putting Achane. Let's talk about Achane. Let's talk about running backs tonight that have questionable, maybe returns to glory or continuations of glory, like Achane, like Bijan. We obviously love them. We obviously will draft them. We obviously are going to be the biggest advocates of Achane, Bijan, and a few other names that we toss out. You know, in the industry, we're the biggest advocates. We promoted Achane and Bijan and Bucky. The list goes on and on more than anybody. But we do have to talk about how much saturation of all of our rosters across Underdog we're going to have of Achane when he has a very cloudy situation. Where do we feel he's safe? Where do we feel maybe you do walk away in terms of something over 7 or 8% of your entire best ball portfolio? Or if you're drafting in 4 home leagues, you draft him in one, you don't draft him in another one, you make it a 1 out of 4 type of situation. And Bijan, does he qualify as somebody that if you have a chance to draft him, you draft him in all 4? Or are we worried about Stefanski enough to say, even then, just flip to Puka, flip to Bijan, take one Bijan and don't oversaturate there, just in case Stefanski screws this entire thing up. We're drafting tonight. Underdog promo code Smitty. Make sure you hit the link that's in the description of the video. Code Smitty gets it done. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. It's time to draft on the graveyard shift, ladies and gentlemen. File on in.
You're watching a
graveyard stream.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Now, we normally do this, but from now on, after tonight, or really tonight and, you know, the next time as well, and the next time and the next time, anytime we do a draft show, I'm not even going to put draft in the graphic. I'm not going to, maybe in the corner, it'll be like, and we'll draft. I always still want every show we do to have some sort of tangible advice and, you know, direction. 8 p.m. shows are always news shows. That's our news flagship show. But graveyard shows should be about a topic. And we've done that before. We did it a lot last year. But I don't want people to just be like, oh, if Smitty's going live at midnight, he just drafts. That's boring. I'm not going to watch that show. Some people love drafting. Some people don't. This show needs to be for everybody. So when you get here at 8 p.m. Eastern, you're watching a news show. When you get here at midnight every single night, we're not just drafting. And we don't always draft anyway. We draft like maybe 2 or 3 times out of every 10. We'll start getting into like heavy draft season though. So like in March, April, we start drafting pretty much every night at midnight. But I don't want that to make you think, oh, we're just drafting. I'll pass on this show. We will have a topic. We will hammer down, just like my topic tonight is the running backs and where we maybe have Achane this year, where we maybe have Bijan, where we might be concerned about both guys in some situations. Bijan, as I said, Stefanski's a mess. He's an absolute disaster. Hopefully Tommy Rees is going to take full control of that situation from, you know, obviously the play calling perspective, but, you know, what can Stefanski screw up? A lot. You know, his quarterback situation. And so if his quarterback situation is screwed up and he doesn't know what to do there, and he doesn't know what to do with quarterbacks, he's so bad with it, then we don't know what Tommy Rees is going to be working with. Will he be handcuffed? Will he unfortunately not have as much success? I don't know. I do know that we're drafting the hell out of Bijan right now still. I'm not saying we're walking away from that at all. I just don't know that this is a guy that last year we would have been right. We would have been right, and we were right on last year. Last year, if we had 4 leagues side by side, and we're on the clock at 1, 2, or 3, and it just so happened Bijan was there for all 4 picks, we would have taken him, and he was fantastic. He was in most scoring formats the guy, you know. So we were correct on that. I'm still taking him. I'd still take him 1 overall in a league, but if I'm in a home league and I've got, let's see, 3 other buddy leagues, I have 4 total buddy leagues, 3 buddy leagues over here, 1 league here, I do think you need to diversify your fantasy football portfolio anyway, but with Achane and Bijan, you specifically need to make sure you're diversifying your portfolio because their situations are very questionable. They can overcome them. They are Bijan and Achane. They are the guys. But their situations are certainly questionable. And there's nothing wrong with going Puka, Bijan, Gibbs, JSN. Or Jamar Chase, JSN, Gibbs, Bijan. If you have 4 leagues in 5, you throw Chase in there if you've got 5. If you've got 5 leagues, Bijan should only be your number 1 pick in one of them. And Achane, same thing goes down in that, mid to second or mid first round to late first round territory. Achane shouldn't be drafted by you 3 times out of 4. He shouldn't be drafted in your home leagues. He shouldn't be drafted twice out of 4 times. He should be drafted 1 time out of 4 times. There's a lot of variety you can throw in there anyway. Everybody should have a little skin in the game on other players, but these 2 players, because of the concerning environments, and especially with Achane, with not even know, well, you don't know who his quarterback is either. And some of that is on Penix Jr. being hurt, but the other part of it is you've got an incompetent head coach in Stefanski that's going to have to make that decision. And he's already dancing around it. At first, he's like, Penix, real excited about it. Now every time he's asked about it, he's like, I'm not in the business of giving out positions, is what he said. Making determinations. Really, you took Penix Jr. even though you didn't specifically. You're taking over a team that took Penix Jr. in the top 10. And you're telling me you don't know if he's your starter? Yeah, Shedeur was so much better than Dylan Gabriel. Stefanski didn't know that either. He doesn't know much about that kind of stuff. Maybe he is good at a couple things. Not saying he's not, but he's an absolute disaster overall, sum total. Disagree with me? Call me up and tell me, oh, Smitty, who's coach of the year? Like, you can do whatever you want. Stefanski's garbage. Just like Nathaniel Hackett's garbage in Arizona. Thank God LaFleur's calling the plays. But Hackett could screw up the running game, which will then screw up LaFleur's play calling and screw up the entire Cardinals situation. I'm not excited about the Cardinals unless they commit to Brissett, which they haven't verbally done. And then we go from there. But the concerning part about Hackett even having his meat hooks on anything makes me say, again, diversify my portfolio. Not going to be super heavy on Michael Wilson Jr. and Brissett and the Cardinals rushing attack, or even McBride at the cost of entry, because Bowers is about half a round cheaper. And I think Bowers will be the number 1 anyway. So we're going to jump into an underdog draft and open up the phone lines. Dive straight in. Go to Underdog, promo code Smitty. The link is in the live chat. Or actually, the link's in the description of the video. And code Smitty gets it done as well. So either way. But they'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. So tap in. We're going to open up the $10 big board. We're going to click that 20-second timer. Hit the green button. Jump into a draft. I'll pull up said draft on my screen. We'll switch it over, and then we'll immediately open the phone lines. And your boy will draft with you guys calling in, which can be distracting, but that's why I get, you could say paid the big bucks. And we'll try and navigate the phone lines at the same time while crushing the draft. All right, let's switch over to the board view. Boom. Underdog promo code Smitty. You can see it on screen. The draft board is a little bit wonky. There we go. Bijan. Bijan's the number 1 overall pick, which we called last year.
Let him cook.
All right, dial in. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Is Benson worth keeping? I mean, yes and no. I totally need to know the context. In general, sure. But is Benson going to do well, guys? I don't know. I took him at 2.1. That's fine, in Dynasty. You just don't know. We just don't know. It's definitely not looking good. You know, is he a highly likely player to be a beast? I don't think you can say that. Smitty, I just entered the draft. Not sure if it's the same one. If you just did it, you should because it says 2 left. It says 2 more to start. So if it says that for you, you're probably in the same place. Thank you, Husseini. Appreciate you. What are my Rumblers doing? Let me go over to Rumble real quick. My Rumblers, I got FDX in the building per usual. FDX is becoming, throwing the American flag too. I love that. Hockey to our boys.
Let him cook.
To our boys. Thank you, FDX. Appreciate you. Bullfrog, appreciate you. David, appreciate you. Mikey, appreciate you. Aldi, appreciate all of you. Yeah. Hockey, the boys. I smell meatloaf. Hey, Ma, the meatloaf. Congrats. You like how people are actually complaining about the hockey players because they went to the White House. Like, you really that weird to where like the hockey crew went and accepted like medals and took a tour of the White House. You get invited to the White House. You're not going to go for political reasons. Like, these poor kids are getting, they're not all kids. Some of them are actual hockey players, like pro hockey players, but they go for a chance of a lifetime and people are getting political. These poor guys. They don't care though. They're tough. They don't give a crap. All right. Do we do the Bijan thing here? I think I'm going to go with the good old Puka Nacua move here. We'll grab Puka. So Gibbs goes 1.1. Puka Nacua goes 2. Mad at the hockey team because they went to the, like, it's crazy, man. Our political landscape is toast. It's cooked. Our country from a political landscape is cooked. We've never been so divided and ever. And don't tell me don't talk politics. I mean, I'm not talking politics. I'm talking hockey. You tell me, if you tell me something negative about the hockey team going to the White House, you're getting political. I'm not getting political. I'm talking about hockey. I think it's madness on either side to get mad at anything related to that. Wild. Gibbs goes 1, Puka goes 2, Bijan goes 3, Jamar Chase goes 4, JSN goes 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown goes 6. I'm in the 1.4, says Husseini. Attaboy. All right, phone lines are open. Dial in. JT 1.8. McCaffrey 1.9. This is obviously redrafted. It's best ball. Yes, this is paid league. It is $10. First place gets $200K. Second place gets $100K. You stay within this group of how this best ball works on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Please join a draft. Play 5, get 75. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. But the way it works is this group that we're drafting in, so Husseini's in this draft. I'm here at the 1.1 says I was born. So I was born as in 1. So we all stayed together weeks 1 through 14. You don't leave your group that you drafted with. The top 2 teams, I believe, in this tournament. Every tournament's a little different, so if I got it wrong here, there, you can just click on the info button and read the rules. But I believe it's the same as Best Ball Mania. So the top 2 teams of total points by the end of week 14 advance to the first round of 3 rounds in the playoffs. Then the top 2 advance again. And you don't advance together. You once the weeks 1 through 14 is over, the top 2 move into a huge pool, and then you get resorted into a new group of 12 or 16. I think it's 12. And then the top 2 advance again, and then you get randomly put in another group of 12 or 16. And then if you win that one, the top 1 goes on to the finals, which it'll have like 200 or 300 people in it. It's really fun. And big board is top 2, then 1 of 10, then 1 of 10. Okay. If that's the way the big board works. I know Best Ball Mania works different, but That makes sense. There's different numbers of entrants here. So if that's correct, if he's correct, it's top 2 advance, then it's 1 of 10, then 1 of 10, and then you're in the championship week. All right, I'm on the clock here. I got my boy Puka Nacua. I really feel like this is a tough. I really like Nico here. I've been drafting Nico quite a bit here, and I need to start diversifying that a little bit. But I just find, and I don't necessarily do it without you guys, but because you guys always snipe, and my crew takes, the guys that I would want, Nico ends up falling to me, and I end up just really liking the pick here. I'm gonna go Bucky here, or Brees. Let's go Bucky. So Nico, Puka, Bucky. Do it live. FDX says, do you split the difference typically in redraft the first 2 rounds? I don't know what that means, FDX. Something exciting may be coming in 20 minutes. I don't know what that means. You guys are having your own conversation over there in Rumble this time. I don't know what's going on. Styles says top 7. Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Lamb. And are you guys having these one-off conversations? I'm trying to read comments, but you guys talking about stuff I'm not involved in yet, so I haven't been reading the entire chat. So I'm trying to answer some of your questions, but damn, everybody's talking about something different tonight. Yeah, so he's saying top 2, then 1 of 10, then 1 of 10. I didn't know you were only in a group of 10 in the first round of the playoffs and then the second round of the playoffs. That's good. It's good, my boy. Yes, Buck is saying the same thing. Big board. Oh, 3 of 12. Really? Okay, so yeah. Sorry if the other guy said that too. So 3 of 12. So the top 3 of this original 12 advances to the first round of the playoffs. Then it's 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. And we're not going to advance together into your own. We're going to go our separate ways at random. JJ Neighbors and Antonio Brown, AJ Brown, and then T Higgins. I don't know what that person's doing. Gonna have no running backs. I was okay with this AJ Brown move too, as long as they grabbed an RB. But they decided to go T Higgins instead of an RB. They're cooked. They're cooked. Let's see if this team screws up their wide receivers. Yeah, Zay Flowers can't be your number 1 wide receiver, bro. 11 spot cooked. 12 spot cooked. 12 spots got JJ Neighbors, AJ Brown, and T Higgins. No running backs, and you have to wait 24. You have to wait 2 full rounds now. Team 11, Cook, Achane, ETN. Great runners, but Flowers ain't going to cut it. If you would have went Garrett Wilson, I would have said, you know what? I don't know. I mean, there's a good chance he doesn't earn his value again, but there's also a chance he's a wide receiver 1. That would have been pretty interesting. Flowers had a great year, but is that going to be replicated? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the same. I think he's going to have a good wide receiver 2 season potentially. But I don't know about that, bro. JT, McBride, Rice, JMO, McCaffrey, Love, McConkey, McLaurin, Genty, Hampton, McMillan, Garrett Wilson. It's a pretty good team there in the 10 spot. I like that. JSN, Bowers, and Josh Allen in the 5 spot. This is a good start. Henderson, that could be good. That could be a good team. I like it. You need to go your way with Hendy though, or you're cooked. But it's a really good potential team. I like it, my boy. Definitely Smitty like. All right, Loveland just went. Cam Scattaboo's intriguing here. Harvey's intriguing here. I'll go Scat. Gotta hope he's fine. Gotta hope he's fine, bro. And then I'm gonna go Harvey. So I started off with double wide receiver. Then I went Bucky, Scat, Harvey. Judkins, way too early. I don't care if his ADP is near here or not. He's coming back from a massive injury that they say he's going to be ready, but I don't know, man. Doesn't catch footballs. It's the Browns. I don't know. Tyreek for Team 11. Why? So we can keep losing? Thank you, AK. Thank you, Aldi. I don't know, man. Scat should be the same ADP as Judkins with that logic? No. Why? Did I just tell you? I mean, look, I have concerns about the Giants bringing Nagy in. I'll tell you that right now. So there is some concern there, but Scat is utilized like a monster, so it's not even close to the same, but nice try. Nice try to take one of the things I said of the three and act like because one of them applied, which was injury, that it makes Scat the same ADP, but it's not correct. Look at these wide receivers on the right side of the board. If this was a scale and wide receivers weighed the heaviest, the scale would be smashed down on the right side. What in the hell is going on over here? And this guy's still not drafting an RB. He took Burrow and Tyler Warren. He is absolutely cooked. He's cooked. It's not like, I mean, T. Higgins is good, but it's not like that was worth not grabbing an RB like Javonte or something. Husseini, what pick are you? What pick are you?
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Hello. I like that BT. Husseini's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Chase, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Lamar Tate. It's not bad, Husseini. It's good. I like it. Very good. This team right here, JSN Bowers, Allen, Hendy, Tyson, Warren. It's good. The Warren picks could be good. The Henderson and Warren pick is tough. We'll see. All right. Man. We'll go P. Wash here. Get a real good third receiver. I really like that. Alec Pierce, Caleb Williams. Jalen Hurts or Drake May, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Drake May was... It's got to be Drake May. Jalen Hurts has a new coordinator, though. He could get back to scoring top 5. But Drake May is 1, 2, or 3. You know what I mean? Drake. You guys voted Drake. Puka. So my team is Puka, Nico, Bucky, Scat, Harvey, P. Wash, Drake May. It's pretty good. Mike over on Rumble says, Draco. I don't know how it works. I tipped from another wallet. I don't see it. Did you tip? What'd you tip? I don't see it. Is it coming through? Maybe it takes a minute. I'll look, but you could definitely tip from another wallet. But make sure you're tipping the right person. But bro, anybody drops a 200 on the tip gets into the Wild Wild West League. There are 12 spots. It drops live on the channel in March. And anybody dropping a 200 on the Rumble wallet tip jar thing that they've got, not the Rumble rants, but the Rumble wallet tip jar. It said 20 minutes and double check, so hopefully I sent it to the right guy. Well, if you clicked on my tip, it would go to it. Or if you had to search for it from your wallet, I damn hope you did the right one. He said it comes in 20 minutes. Is that what you meant? I'm sorry, bro. 420, man. I can't wait to see what happens here. I do hope you sent it to the right guy, though. This guy. So the guy in the 12th spot finally drafted some RBs. Price and Algier. I mean, they might score a little here and there. He's honestly, like, I love Price. I do, but I mean, he's not guaranteed anything yet. But that's the gamble he's taking with that roster. Man, I wonder what 420 man's doing here. You can send a Tether Gold, an Ethereum, or Bitcoin tip through the Rumble wallet, I believe, through a different wallet, like 420 man said he did. It said 20 minutes, and I double checked, and hopefully I sent it to the right guy. Yeah, we'll see. If not, where can we go to see what he got? Why do the receiver heavy teams always draft Algier? Because he ends up just, trickling in some points. And what are we doing here? I don't hate this pick. I kind of like Xavier Worthy right now. But at the right cost, Man. I feel like this is a safe move. There's a player I kind of wish I'd taken. I didn't do it. I'll tell you when he gets taken. But I think this is a pretty safe move. I got a lot of depth at the positions, except for one. But all-time combo Algier Price to the moon, bro. All right, Husseini's team is as follows: Jamar Chase Brown, he's from the 4 spot. Breece Hall, Lamar, Tate, Fannin, Harrison Jr., pretty good value there. Pitts, Knicks. It's a great team. Gadsden just went. That's the guy I was going to take here instead of Monty. I kind of regret not doing it, but then again, it's like Scat and Harvey do have some risk. And I like the upside, though. And if I can couple it with a player like Algier, in best ball, Algier is really good. And in best ball, Manunga is going to be fantastic. In best ball, Quorum's really good because they just kind of score no matter what, And so that's why Algier is a very safe running back for people that go huge, heavy wide receiver builds and don't draft a running back to like round 7 or 8 because he just gets work. But he's going to be in a new situation, so he's kind of being drafted off of his old usage. He could go somewhere and get completely lost in the shuffle. But Monty, to me, felt pretty safe because, now I feel like I have 4 really reliable running backs that when they're on the field, and then the 2 that are concerns for 2 different reasons. Harvey, what's Sean Payton going to do in the offseason and with the draft, and you just don't know for sure. Or, JK or, Dowdle, or like, what's he do? Bucky, I feel really good about, but Monty just gives me that extra little bit of security. But this is a really good squad, I think. I love Husseini's team. I think the JSM Bowers team right here in the 5 spot, Josh Allen, Hendy, Tyson, Warren, Tootin, that team is really, really, really good. Husseini's is in the 4 spot. He's got the Jamar Chase team. Bijan team looks pretty interesting. Yeah. Travis, you are live.
What's up?
What's up?
What's the latest on Monty? You think he'll probably still be in Detroit next year?
Yeah, I don't think there's a market to trade him. Like the reason he put up a stink. He liked some tweets that that kind of made a statement. He liked some tweets that were, that were like, hey, you should be traded where someone will use you, like a feature back, and when they don't use you, you lose. Look at this guy with the quarterbacks. What's he doing? Herbert, Dart, Purdy, Stafford, just stacking up the QBs there. Does he have a running back yet? He took one in the first round, didn't he? Yeah, JT. So only JT, and then he takes 4 straight running backs. Some wild strategies going on here. But Monty made a statement that, hey, you should have used me. You didn't, and he's unhappy. But I think his agent's probably telling him, look, like, we can see, but I don't know that anybody's going to come knocking for a older running back with an injury history that's not even a starter. It's just not. There's not really a market for him.
Yeah. And just chiming in on, I've seen some in the chats about Judkins versus Scat and stuff. People can like Judkins over Scat. That's fine. Everyone has their own opinion and stuff. But Scattaboo, his value gets multiplied so much because of his ability in the passing game. And he's such a great pass catcher. For me, that just hurdles him.
For what player? For what player?
Scattaboo versus Judkins.
Oh, Scat. Yeah, Scat's great.
His receiving ability just is so much more above Judkins. I'm not saying Judkins can't catch the ball and can't do some things in the pass game, but Scattaboo is elite in the passing game. And also, now that Judkins has had the injury, there's a major injury sitting there with him too. So, just like Scat. So, because people worry about, the way Scat plays, he's got an injury. Well, Judkins doesn't shy away from contact at all, and now he's got a major injury too. So
yeah,
when you're looking at the comparison,
so Gamer wants me to spell it out for him. All right, bro, Judkins plays on a bad team. Okay, you might say the Giants are unproven or whatever, but they still got a lot of talent. They got a quarterback. They balled the hell out without Neighbors and without Scattaboo, and he still kept doing it. So Jackson Dart is definitely miles ahead of. I'm talking country miles. The offense is country miles ahead of the Cleveland Browns, who don't even know who their starting quarterback is. And that carousel doesn't lead to productivity. Because if you're swapping them out, that means they're playing badly. And they're going to be pressured to use Deshaun Watson, or they're paying $47 million guaranteed. And it's going to potentially be a mess over there. They don't have wide receivers. Maybe they rectify that in the draft. But it's just not, it's not even close. Like the fact that you're even trying to argue they're the same thing when one of the biggest things to talk about is the offense, my boy. And they love Scat. They use Scat. Jackson Dart's favorite. He loves Scat more than he loves his girl. When they go out clubbing, the girls are in the back walking, trailing behind. Scat and Dart are walking together. They leave. So I don't even understand where you're not getting what I'm saying. That alone, I can end the conversation. Even if everything else that you and I are talking about with the injuries are the same, which they're not, because Judkins doesn't catch passes. So if he's kind of struggling to get on, his feet under him, Scat can do everything, and they throw to him. And Jackson Dart's his best friend. He will throw to him. They headbutt each other. They're like lions, bro. They're like cubs. So I don't really understand where we're off on this one. I mean, I'll leave it at that, because you can argue the other parts of it. There's some similarities in that. Worry about the injury, sure. And I even said when Scat got hurt that if things didn't go perfectly on the tear, which they did, if he tore everything and he'd be done, his career would be over. He got lucky. He injured. There's some extra injury there. It's not like everything was totally clean, but he escaped having career-threatening injuries, and he got really lucky, so things went well. But that's what we're talking about. I don't know, real quickly, Travis, hold on 1 second. I don't know. I think 20 minutes is up for 20 minutes. I don't know. Man, I don't know who you said that to. Hopefully it still shows up. Have you checked on it, 420, man? Does it look like it completed? Yeah, I'm sure you did it right. It's probably just delayed. All right, go ahead, Travis. Sorry.
Well, he just said Stefanski over Nagy tilts the scale. Stefanski isn't with Judkins anymore,
Yeah, I don't think he's.
even if you like him. But the thing I was going to say was, on top of that, with the passing game, it's going. No matter how good Judkins is, it's going to be really hard for him to dominate in the passing game in any fashion because Sampson is way better in the passing game than Judkins is. And I still think people are underrating Sampson. I'm not saying he'll get a chance, but I think there's a chance, he gets a shot with Judkins, coming back from the injury. And he's a way better runner than people realize. And he's elite in the passing game.
Yeah. This team's rounding out pretty good. Here's my team right here. I'll read it off. It's Nakua, Nico, Bucky, Scat, Harvey, P. Wash, May, Xavier Worthy, Monty, Kincaid's my tight end one. Dobbs, maybe Dobbs is playing with Drake May. Malik Willis, pretty decent fantasy player to add. And then Sadiq to back up Kincaid since he, gets hurt and stuff. But I think it's pretty decent looking squad. Husseini's is looking good.
Did you say earlier where you have HN ranked for redraft? Like I know in the past he was your 3. Where, off the top of your head, where would you have him right now in running back?
We have him in between. I'm refreshing I opened my Rumble wallet 420 man just in case it doesn't, for whatever reason, show up. And I'm refreshing, so I'll let you know if I see anything. I'd probably say, let me scroll up and we'll look at the top of the board so people can visually see. So Gibbs is my 1. Bijan's my 2, but I'm just making it known that Genti's going to rival him for that because of, I believe the situation for Bijan is probably still going to be good for him, but I worry about Stefanski. So that's Bijan's still 2. There's this concern to oversaturate in case it goes awry and Bijan's held back. We've seen Bijan be held back before. Arthur Smith did it. So Bijan's 2, Genti's 3. And then, quite honestly, you look at all these RBs here. I think that Hampton and Love have an ability to be players that I actually want more, but at cost. Like, I'm getting them in the second round. You can see Love and Hampton in round 2, H-Hands up in round. Oh, no, he fell to 14. That's great value. I could easily see myself wanting to take advantage of the ADP. But in this case, with this particular draft, it just came in, bro. It just came in. Guess who's in? What he send it in BTC? How does this work? I'm not sure if it came in. Anyway, I'll figure that out in a second. But congratulations to 420 man, who just secured himself a spot in the Wild Wild West draft. And 420 man, can you email me? Can you go to my website? You know what my website is, right? The Fantasy Football Show. Go to my website. I got a draft real quick, man. Hold on. I'll celebrate this in a second. I'm just trying to get my bearings here. Isaiah Likely. I could go Isaiah Likely here. Let's go Isaiah Likely, and then I'll draft here in a second. What am I doing? Hold on. I'm sidetracked here. Trying to do 10 things at once. Hold on, my boy. 420 man's the man. So go to my website, The Fantasy Football Show. In the contact form, email me. And I want you to put a number. Don't tell anybody the number. Put a number in the body of the email, like a 5-digit number, like something no one, just a 5-digit number. And AJ Barner. What am I going to do here? I was gonna time out, so I took Trey Harris. Put a 4-digit number that nobody can guess. You want to throw a character in there if you want, like a letter as well. And then once I confirm I have the email, I am going to have you put the number in the chat, and then if it's correct, then I know it's you. 420 man just dropped a $200 did you do it in BTC or is it just wallet that I transfer over to BTC or whatever? I'm not too sure. So I'm not sure how it was sent. Let me know. But anyway, this man, known as 420 Man, just became a Wild Wild West entrant. And he's also going to get a pair of Gunners on your boy.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
$200 Bitcoin tip, I believe it is, or it's maybe just, let's see what he says. I did it in BTC. I'm not sure how the Rumble wallet works. Okay, so he did it in BTC. We got Bitcoin $200 tip over on Rumble, which is fantastic. Also need to put you in the Hall of Fame for being the first person to drop a significant number. And so you're going to go in the Hall of Fame. Let me go find you the Hall of Fame, the unicorn board.
He is a unicorn.
Tip. So that is fantastic. I'm sorry, Travis. Go ahead. It did come in as BTC. There it is. Wow. 205.20. 205.20. Your boy's got $230.25 in Bitcoin through the Rumble Wallet app. This is fantastic. Thank you for the first three to do that. Just absolutely grateful. Thank you. I don't even know what screen I'm supposed to be on. Travis, go ahead. In 420, let me know when that email's gone through.
Yeah, so just in terms of running back rank, like where'd you say you had Gibbs? Like if you're just ranking him flat out.
1.
Okay, so Gibbs is 1, Bijan's 2, and then where does H.N. fall after that?
So I was starting to say, I think it, for me, it's Gibbs. Thank you again, 420. I'm going to give him another standing ovation.
Let him cook.
And now I'm on the clock, Travis. Let me just pick real quick. Singleton, I suppose. So Gibbs is my 1, and really could easily be my number 1 overall. Bijan's my 2. I'm on the clock again. Hold on one second, Travis. Go Bigsby. My 3 is Genty. And then it's just a tier break for me. And it's Hampton. Not in any particular order. It's Hampton. It's Love. It's H.N. And I honestly just don't know what my order is at that point. I mean, Chase Brown can live in this combo. JT could sneak into this group. It's just kind of like a really even Steven territory. Like if I'm using auction dollars, they're like all kind of the same auction dollar amount, to me. So it's really, really hard to say. If you had to put me in a box, I'd probably say Hampton. Just because of the offense. I mean, what do I tell you guys? The number 1 rule in fantasy is draft good players on good teams. And if you've got scoring and tons of potential like Hampton does, and I think Love will also be on a good team, H.N. is going to be on a bad team without Miami Mike McDaniel, without Tua Tagovailoa. I love him. He's still in my top 10. He's still maybe number 4, 5, 6. But at the end of the day, the safest player here might be Hampton, then maybe Love. JT might be there too. We have to see. CMC, Yeah, I mean, I'm not drafting CMC personally, but I understand why somebody would draft him, expecting him to be at least in the same territory as Hampton, Love, and Achan. You want to draft CMC for redraft purposes there. I'm fine with that. 420. I'm just still impressed. I'm just still impressed, 420. Let me see what the email says. What a day. What a day. What a number, too. No one's guessing that number. All right, 420, man, what is the number that you put in? And then I'll know it's you, and then I'm going to email you after the show. I probably won't do it right now, but I'm going to email you after the show, tell you how grateful I am again. And then let you know you're in the league. I'll give you an invite to the Wild Wild West draft, which we'll draft live on the show. It'll be at an 8 p.m. show time frame, most likely. No, actually it won't. I lied. It'll be a midnight Eastern time frame. Like this time right now. Or a little bit earlier, but it'll be midnight Eastern. That is the number. So thank you, 420. Again, you're the man. You're the man.
I smell meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
420 dropping the wad, bro. Midnight works better. Good. So midnight Eastern. I'll send you the link in the email. Also said thank you again. And what was the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, and I'm going to get your information so I can send you a pair of gunners. They'll probably, I don't know, I'll guarantee what model you're going to get. You're probably going to get, if I had to guess, if I can't guarantee these, but you're probably, where's my gunner board?
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
I timed out on my last pick. Who did I get? Dang it. Oh, Malachi Fields. I don't know who I timed out on. Who did I get? I got Flournoy. Okay, that's not too bad. Is Flournoy? What do you think of Flournoy, Travis? Just real quickly.
I mean, every time Lamb goes down, he has a big game, it seems. And I mean, I think there's something there, and as a third receiver. Maybe if Pickens goes, could he be their number two? I think maybe.
Okay, so the glasses you're going to either get. I'm not even guaranteeing that this is. I'm just saying I think this is what's going to happen. Let's see. Is it this pair? I think it was this pair. And these are you can look them up on the website too to kind of prepare. It's the Intercept. I don't know if they'll be the Amber. You can tell me your preference in the email of what, I'll give you a few options. But it would be the Intercept. The Amber Max are really nice to look through. And then the other one you might get would be the sunglasses or the yellow or the sunglass tint of or these are the Witcher. I think these are the Witcher. These are the Witcher from the TV show. These are pretty badass.
Yeah.
I think they're like leather sides. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be one of the two. It might be the Intercept, but it could be the Witchers. And if you have a preference, I might be able to take care of that. Also, the other one we might have too, though. I don't know if you like this style. Let me know. This is you want to look these up on gunner.com. The Doom D-U-M-E Gold. The D-U-M-E Doom Gold. I think it's a TV show as well. These are pretty cool. They're gold. They're blue light and they're Amber Max. Or are they Amber Max? No, maybe they're just sunglasses. Are these sunglasses? Yeah, these are just sunglasses. Smitty, you helped me win a lot of money. Bro, I can't take enough. And, these gunners are about $70 to $100. So you're getting something back. So it's awesome. Anybody else does that tonight, your same thing applies. Rumble pair of gunner glasses. You're in the league. $200 plus or plus. Rumble tip. Again, nice job, bro. All right, Travis. What do you think to your question? Your running back question. H-hand.
Achan, so my top three right now, I have Bijan and Gibbs switch, but it's, it can go either way. And I have Genty 3 as well. After that, I want to put Achan, but I'm kind of holding out to see, what the team looks like. If, like you said, if you had to put me in a box, I guess I'd still put Achan 4, but that's me admitting it's risky because of the team builds.
Like
What
we're gonna have
the
a
Dolphins
show.
can be like.
We're gonna have a show soon, and you know the feeling. You know the feeling that we all had, guys, where it was like we were worried about Genty's line. We were worried about like MHJ, doing it. We were worried about like who's another player like that we were concerned and ended up, inside our soul. Like even the Hendy situation, like was there concern? Not so much when they drafted him because it just didn't feel like Ramondre was gonna. But even with like the JK situation, like in your soul, there's a little bit of concern. Not because you're wrong about your assessment or what's actually the correct answer for the coach to make, but that the situation might screw you. There's a lot of things, that make you go, am I ignoring the signs that this might have some problematic obstacles that if I was in control, I would move the obstacle. But I do believe that we do need to have more honest conversations, and that's what I'm trying to do this year. Even though I mother freaking love H-Han and I'm still drafting him, I mother freaking love Bijan Robinson. I'm still drafting him. I love RJ Harvey. You guys know how much I love RJ Harvey, and I'm still drafting him. But I'm able to, and even with Ramondre Stevenson and Hendy, there's risk here that is out of our control. And this isn't just running backs, there's wide receivers too, but it tends to be more running back questions because there's only one running back. Wide receivers, what are you going to do? Bench a wide receiver you drafted in the second round or first round or something like that. So like these guys have a tendency, Hendy and Harvey, to be capable of being misused. HN and Bijan won't, but their situations have changed greatly with their new coaches, their quarterback controversies, which we don't even know who their quarterbacks are, and proven misuse led to Bijan not scoring as much before. Achane without Tua, and he had Ewers, but he still had Mike McDaniel at the time. He dropped off, and we saw it. There's you just need to be able to, and I didn't do it all the time last year either. So we need to be able to say, honestly, are these obstacles worth putting all our eggs in one basket? The answer is no. And it doesn't mean that we won't relish in the glory of Achane if he gets used properly, but there are obstacles that we don't know that the coach will navigate. And if the coach navigates it right, we still have plenty of shares. We'll be fine. We'll be able to, we're not even like, no one's saying that these guys are busts at all. It's just diversification across your portfolio is very important. Very, very important for that reason. And I think you just need to answer those questions completely honest.
Yeah, and if it turns out, like the Dolphins do something crazy, like stick with yours and they just tank it, then yeah, HN for sure needs to be moved even further down.
Now HN could get traded. And so if you do oversaturate, you could get really lucky on that, but
right.
He's probably not going to get traded. And the thing is like you said, it's the part that's so scary about HN is, and this is where my advice of the number one advice that you can almost give. I mean, there's other advice. Best player available is probably the number one advice, but draft. Almost wrote Jackson Dart. Draft players on good teams. And what's that mean? It doesn't necessarily mean they're a good team ball control. It means like good fantasy football opportunities. And the thing you got to ask yourself about Achan is if Achan ends up, unfortunately, falling on a bad team or playing on a bad team, he is on a team now, and they don't fix things, what ends up happening, even if he's able to kind of muster it up, right, is at the end of the year, he's either going to get hurt, get banged up. They don't want to waste the mileage on a losing season. He's a far more likely player to not finish the season in weeks like 14, 15, 16 in a very bad situation. Because he's carrying the team on his back, which leads more likely to lead to injury. And then any kind of banged up, like even if it's minor, there's nothing to play for. So he has a greater chance of sitting out with a mere ankle injury. Or he's got a tight hammy, sit him out. And so that part is unfortunately going to always be there if it's a bad team. So all that needs to be considered. It's just the way it is. I wish it was different. 2 years ago, Smitty wouldn't have considered that. And I still want a lot. I still did well. Like, we've been winning late. Like, there's nothing needing to. We're not correcting because of bad success, but tweaking your game and getting better at what you do every year should always be a priority. Identifying your weaknesses, always a priority. When you fix a weakness, you go find the next weakness. I don't understand why a lot of people go into fantasy football and just keep rinsing and repeating. Like, I'm just not a good drafter. Well, then get to become a good drafter. That's the whole point. What are your weaknesses? Always ask yourself, what are my weaknesses as a fantasy football player? Turn them into strengths, then move on. What's your next weakness? Before you know it, you'll be a person that's so well-rounded at everything. You can always improve, but you'll have no more glaring weaknesses. And so, you know, the one weakness, if I'm self-reflecting, that hasn't held me back from winning championships, doing well, like great underdog year last year, great. But the one probably weakest link of my game is that sometimes I have in the past, and I'm trying to rectify that, allow talent to overwhelm the logic of the obstacles that may or may not take the player out. Doesn't mean that I've been wrong on all of those, or even half of them really, but if we can perfect that and not say we're avoiding Bijan, avoiding Achan, avoiding Hendy, avoiding Harvey, but just saying this should put them in a different place of, let's not oversaturate and ruin all of our seasons off of having too much Harvey, too much Hendy, too much Achan, too much Bijan. You look at a guy like Hampton, yeah, injury could take you out of that if you oversaturate a little bit more on Hampton, but Hampton's situation's glorious. You could cuff it and still get the production from Vidal or whoever they end up having there. Vidal may or may not be on the team. But that situation's so safe. You cuff Achan, you don't know you don't even know who the cuff is right now. It could be Gordon, could be Wright, and neither one might even do well. Like, Hendy, you could maybe cuff Stevenson and Hendy. I've seen it in best ball lineup in a very cost-efficient way, but Harvey, you might know who to cuff, you might not, but might not even pay dividends. Bijan, we'll see what happens there. But I'm just telling you, man, there's concerns here that we need to recognize, and it doesn't scare me away, but it disappoints me that we're having this conversation about multiple big name players.
Yeah, and Vader actually mentioned his name a few minutes ago. The second Brees ends up on, Chiefs or New Orleans, a team like that, he goes right into that tier with Achan and Love and Chase Brown for me.
Oh, of course.
I don't know where he would fall for you, but
yeah, so. I don't know if you've heard. I think your power didn't go out before when we were talking that mess up a lot, but yeah, I mean, when I put these guys on the Moon Men list,
the Jupiter Men,
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man.
JJ
on a shuttle to Mars.
and then Hall, Bucky.
Mars men.
So, JJ and Hall are the two players. I mean, I think you were here for those videos. JJ and Hall are the two players that have the most and I don't say rags like they're trash, but their value tanked.
Situation.
Like Brees Hall in the third round is like very disrespectful. And he's a top 2 capable running back. But is it warranted currently in New York? Yeah. And that's why I say, like, if you take Hall right now and he ends up staying in New York on a long-term deal, you're not going to be getting what we had hoped you were getting, but you're getting the value you paid third round. But the moment Hall goes to KC, he's a first, second round turn player. He's going ahead of Achan. And JJ's going in the mid-second round territory. The moment he gets Mac Jones, if he does, he goes to mother freaking 4, 5, 6 overall. And so those two players are the two players that have the most bang for the buck right now in best ball. We won't be able to take advantage of it in your home leagues because the situations will have changed well before your draft and everybody's going to adjust and adapt. But on Underdog, where we just drafted right now, link in the description, code Smitty, they'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. This is where you can take advantage of the redraft misplaced value, temporary misplaced value of JJ and for Breece Hall. So yes, those two guys will climb to the moon. Just absolutely skyrocket to the moon the moment their situations change. And if they don't, they earn the value that they're going at right now, even if they... Well, JJ is going to get something. But let's say JJ's remedy is Kyler. That sucks. But it's still enough to put him at the return on investment where he's being drafted. Breece Hall, if he stays in New York, that sucks. But that's where I draft him if he's in New York. Because if he's in KC or New Orleans or Washington, guess where Breece Hall's going? 12, 11, 10 overall, 14 overall. So they're 100% the best values in fantasy kind of right now.
Yeah, and then two other guys I was curious on, like when I say ranking, just don't even look at ADP, just in terms of ranks, just how you see them compared to other guys. Who do you have ranked higher for redraft, Saquon or JT? And I guess like what range? 8 to 12, 10 to 15.
For JT
versus Saquon. Who do you have ranked higher, and then just around where do you have them ranked?
Man, that's such a good question, and I don't know if you heard me earlier today saying that. I think.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
you were talking with Saquon.
Barkley's a pretty good value this year.
Yeah, because what do you have, like 11 something with what do you use? RB 14, 1140 with 7 rushing touchdowns, and another 2 touchdowns and 273 receiving. So, like the way I see him, I think because he wasn't necessarily overworked this year, I think he could be in that, I don't know, safely 7 to 10 range, 7 to 12 range pretty easily. And, maybe something closer to a 12 to 1400 yard season. I don't think he's doing a 2,000 yard season again, 1800. Not saying he can't, but he's 29. And
I think I'd probably say that for me, JT still worthy of like 2.1. That's the high end. Like you take him there because the running backs are ripping off the board, but I think he ranges down to like 2.6 for me. But of course, I'm okay paying anything in between. So I would pay 2.1 value. I believe that who's the other running back we're talking about?
JT and Saquon.
Saquon. Okay, Saquon, sorry. Saquon, so JT, Saquon, so Barkley. I'd probably say Barkley's right at this other territory almost exactly. So Bark's at the 2.6 to 2.12, JT 2.1 to 2.6. So they overlap right here at 2. Or I'm sorry, at 2.6. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't mean I don't think that one could outscore the other, or that Barkley couldn't outscore JT but it's just my expectations. We saw JT explode. The last time we saw Barkley play, he was not exploding. We think he'll do better, but that's why he's costing a little. We're investing a little less to get him. Whereas JT, we know what he can do, and even when he's kind of hampered, he's still capable. So I just think they're dividing up the second round with it, and they'll meet it at 2.6. That's
okay,
what I said.
Yeah, and so like I said, just straight rank wise, like, are you looking at them as like top 12, top 10, top 8, like as your ceiling, what versus floor type of thing? Well, like where would your rank be?
Well, I mean, as far as second round, JT floor 2.6, JT 2.1, Barkley floor 3.1 ish.
Well, that's ADP, but I'm saying like if you're just
Yeah,
straight
I don't
ranking
know.
them.
I don't know. I think in redraft terms, I would just say like there's no way he's top 5 Barkley. JT, if JT climbs to this 2.1, so I think he's capable of it. He's capable of being like that 5 to 8 running back. But as I just cranked out it, Gibbs, Bijan, Genty, Hampton, Loveland. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my 5. And then JT's in this bag here with Achan, as I mentioned earlier. You can throw CMC if you want in here. All these guys are in this. Chase Brown's kind of in here. There's more, but it's just so it's 6 to 12 or 6 to 10 for JT. 6 to 10 for JT. Barkley's probably 10 to 15. So in the top 10 ish, but he's got to be, at his peak to get into the top 10. Might be even like 9 to 15 for Barkley.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
All right.
So Husseini's asking about the Bitcoin and stuff. If you just want to hit that, so you make sure he gets it right.
Okay. So as far as on Rumble, does anyone have experience with Bitcoin? So I do. I just convert $200 to Bitcoin. So if you go to Rumble and you try and tip on Rumble, it will ask you. So do this, Husseini. Go to Rumble Wallet on your app store. You download that. It signs you right up, and then you'll basically add $200 into your Rumble Wallet. It's very simple. So you download Rumble Wallet, and then you add $200 to the Rumble store, and then once you have $200 there, you can send it by just tapping tip on the Rumble tip jar. You tap the tip, and then it'll come up with a QR code. If you tap the QR code, it'll say open in Rumble Wallet. You open a Rumble Wallet, and then you just send it over. So it's basically like it's almost like loading up a gift card in a way. The Rumble Wallet makes it so easy. Rumble Wallet's really cool. You could even keep if you were to send it to somebody, you could still enter more and keep your own Bitcoin inside the Rumble Wallet, so that you could have some Bitcoin. But the Rumble Wallet, if you just go to the App Store and type in Rumble Wallet, it walks you through everything. You just add it, you just connect your you just deposit through. You probably can deposit through like PayPal or something too, I imagine. But it's so cool. It's so simple too. And when you have $200 in Bitcoin or Tether Gold or Ethereum, it's kind of fun to watch it too. So you could, if you were to send something, you could also match it for yourself, and then when we're talking about it, you'd be like, I got some. It's awesome, man. But yeah, Husseini, if you end up doing that, you're in too, my boy. You're anybody else that does it tonight, you're in the Wild Wild West draft. Even if you do it, let's say like after the show ends and you still do it tonight, I don't care if it's 2 a.m. That still counts. Vader says add more than $200 for fees. What is the fee? Like $5 or something? What are the fees, Vader? All right, Travis, anything else?
I don't think so. Are you doing a dynasty tonight or not tonight?
Probably real quickly. What should we do?
I have a couple of questions. I don't know if it can be a...
yeah, hit me with it, and if it sounds good, we'll make it into a show.
So I won't actually ask a question, but the subjects they're on is, one is like quarterbacks like outside of that, like top 5, 6, 7 for, I guess you could do super flex or just guys that you would be going after to trade for type of stuff, whether it's...
Give me a couple. Give me a couple names, and we'll make them about those. Ward,
like Ward, Mendoza, Shuck, Nix, like guys in that kind of tier of guys.
Okay.
Some second or third year guys along with rookies, all that.
So
younger guys that you could be going after, and
sleeper
in either super flex, sleeper
dynasty
guys.
Sleeper QBs. We'll do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll be back. Give me like 5 minutes.
All right. Thanks,
5 to 8 minutes.
Yep,
all right.
bye.
Later. 5-day minutes. We'll be back for the Dynasty stream again. Hats off. I bought Bitcoin at 87,000. I bought more at 67. Okay. Hats off to 420 man for dropping the first ever 200 bills of.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy. He is a unicorn.
Rumble.com/The Fantasy Football Show.
Over on Rumble, we're live on Rumble right now. Whenever we go live on YouTube, we're usually live on Rumble at the same time. And whenever you're on Rumble, there's a tip. It's a $ tip jar. And you click that. Rumble created Rumble Wallet. They partnered with some of the best, I guess, in the industry for this type of technology to transfer and create wallets and things like that. And so it's really, really easy. You don't need to know anything. You just download the Rumble Wallet in the App Store. It connects to your Rumble account, essentially. You log in through your Rumble account, and it's all connected. And so then when you just like anything, like if you were to try and put money into a PayPal account or put money into what do you call it? Cash App or whatever. You could throw money into your Cash App account. You just transfer it over and it sits there. You can transfer into your Rumble wallet, and then you can send it as BTC Bitcoin. You can send it as, and it's really easy through the Rumble wallet. You can send it through other wallets like 420 man did. You just got to make sure you're sending it to the right person. The Rumble wallet, you're clicking on the tip jar on my YouTube channel, so it walks you straight to doing it. But anybody that does $200 in the BTC or the Ethereum or the Tether, gold is in the Wild Wild West League, by the way, and the Gunner glasses. So if that happens after we end the show and you do it on the Dynasty show or whenever it happens tonight, I'll keep looking. Just email me after you do it, and you're in like Flynn. Make sure you add more than 2 for the fees. What were the fees? What are the fees, 420 man? I mean, I'm not going to be a stickler on if he didn't know and he gets sent a fee. But what are the fees? Just so anybody that wants to do it knows. Wild Wild West League's going to be amazing too, and the fact you're getting Gunners too is pretty cool. We'll be back on the Dynasty channel. Make sure you guys get on over to the Dynasty channel. Its link is in the description of the video. How do you guys like this new logo, and how do you like the new the play button on the helmet? It looks really nice. That was the last part that I wanted to tweak because the old play button was cool. I loved it. The angled, red play button, but it definitely didn't go with the new design, and so I think this play button looks pretty slick. It's got the same colors. It goes with the text. I think it looks pretty good. And then all this, if you go to thefantasyfootballshow.com/merch, you can get the new merch. So the new merch is up. Dynasty show begins in 5 minutes. Link in the description, or just go to my YouTube page, my main YouTube channel. If you scroll to the bottom of the homepage of my main YouTube channel, you'll see the Dynasty channel down there. And if you're on the Dynasty channel and you scroll to the bottom of the homepage on the Dynasty channel, you'll see the main channel link. So there you can go back and forth you teleport through the bottom of the homepage of either. So if you're ever looking for either channel, you're on the other one, just scroll to the bottom of the homepage on the home tab. Young says the logo hits hard. I love it, bro. This logo is insane. You got JS. Regardless of the X's and O's, forget about the defense, offense. The arrow routes, they remind me of, that's Achan or Gibbs on the left. The arrow on the right, JSN just sprinting down the sideline. That jagged arrow at the top left. I mean, that's either that's Achan bouncing around. It looks like Puka Nacua, actually. All right. $8 in fees, says 420 man. That ain't bad. You know what's great about it? Just so you guys know, what's great about Rumble Wallet is all that goes to the creator. YouTube, if you drop the $200 super chat, they take $60 out of the 200. Which, I'm very grateful to Rumble or to YouTube. YouTube is to give you this platform. I'm not complaining whatsoever, but the cool thing with those Rumble wallet tips is the creator keeps 100%, except for that fee. That fee goes on the front end. All right, guys, I'll see you all in T-minus 5 minutes for the Dynasty show. Dynasty show, be back. Click the link in the Dynasty links in the description of the video. 420 man to the moon. Thank you all for the super chats this today and all that on the earlier show. Gifted memberships on the earlier show. And then, of course, all my Rumblers, appreciate you. 420 man to the mother freaking moon. 420 man, sending it to it from another wallet did not show up in the live chat of Rumble, but that's okay because I had it open. You told me we were able to call it out. You're the man, the myth, the legend. See you all on the Dynasty channel. 420 man, forever goated.